Good late afternoon. My name is Kelly Lam. I'm the Vice President of Marketing here at Miele. Welcome, bienvenue, willkommen. Many of you are home safe with your families. We hope you all are. And we really encourage you to remain safe in this very unique time that we're all facing across Canada, but also the world. In the meantime, many of you, our customers, have reached out to us asking for more information, whether it's about existing products that you already own, whether it's about services that we currently offer, or whether it's about new products that you're actually interested in buying. And I'm very excited to announce to you today the new service we have here in Canada, Miele Live. What is Miele Live? We really want to continue to bring you, our customers, from the safety of your home, the services that you expect from Miele. These sessions, which are live, will happen multiple times a week with different sessions every day. We'll be covering topics from dishwashers to laundry machines to vacuums to our built-in coffee machines, our freestanding coffee machines. We'll also give you information on the latest Miele coffee beans that we offer. We'll of course cover topics related to Miele cooking products, from Miele ranges, different type of cooktops from induction to gas to electric, but also to all the different types of ovens that we have to offer. Pour vous qui demandez des sessions en français, on travaille actuellement d'avoir des sessions en français pour les semaines qui viennent. Au moment, vous pouvez aller sur miele.ca et demander pour une consultation personnelle avec un de nos experts. We really are excited about this new service that we're bringing to you. It is live. We're filming here actually in the Miele Experience Center in Toronto. Many of you have already submitted questions. We actually have a long list of questions for this particular session that we're going to host today. But feel free to actually submit live in the comment section as you're watching us on miele.live.ca. There's a comment section area. So make sure that you actually fill those questions in. We'll try to answer as many as we can on camera live. For those that we aren't able to answer, we do have product experts who will answer the questions in the comment section. Or if your question is very, very specific, we may actually send you directly an email with the detailed answer that you're looking for. In order to ask the questions live, be sure to register. And by registering, you also get a chance to win a $100 Miele gift card. So with me today is one of our product experts, Marilyn.
Hello.
Welcome, Marilyn.
Thank you.
And Marilyn's going to be covering off what topics today?
Today we're going to cover the DGC Steam Combi unit.
So I think before we even get started on the various models that we have to offer, Marilyn, why steam? Why is steam so popular nowadays?
Well, now the lifestyle is like people are watching their sodium intake. They're watching how much oil that they're using. So by using steam, it actually brings out the flavor of the food that they're going to be enjoying.
And healthier.
And healthier, much, much healthier.
So I know Miele we have three models.
Yes.
Three different appliances that offer
Right.
steam. What are the three models?
So we have just the DG, which is just basically a steam on its own. And then we have the DGC, which is a steam combi unit. And this is the XL as well as the XXL steam combi unit.
And the combi is combination of steam
Steam.
cooking and convection.
Convection. It has a fully fledged convection oven. And then it's the beauty of putting the two together. So you've got the steam and the convection oven at the same time that you can use it.
And I know here, obviously, we have, we talked about the steam-only unit, which has been really popular. But now we have the two different combi units. And really, the difference is really what? Between the XL and the XXL?
Really, it's the height. So there's more cavity space that's in the oven. So with the XL, it still measures 24 inches wide, but the XL is 18 inches high, and the XXL is 24 inches high.
Great. Why don't we just dive right into this?
Okay.
Maybe talk us through, I've got my combi steam or my steam only oven.
Right.
Let's talk about steam cooking.
Okay. So with steam cooking on its own, what you would do is you would go into our special mode. So if you press special mode, why I'm bringing you to this is that with Steam you can do a combination of food at the same time. So it would be called menu cooking.
Okay.
So let's actually have some fun with this. So Kelly, if I were to ask you three food items that you would want to have this evening, what would you select?
Let me see. I like asparagus. Our family likes asparagus, so I'd love asparagus as the veg.
Okay.
Basmati rice.
Yes.
And either maybe a halibut or a haddock.
Okay. So I'm going to actually have you do that and just show the customers that how easy this is to use.
Absolutely.
So I've already opened up the menu right here. So
Okay.
make your selection by selecting.
Does it matter which order I do it
Nope,
in first?
it doesn't matter at all because the unit at the end will tell you what to put in first.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with my veg because it's
Yes.
the first option I see there. And our family wanted asparagus.
Yes.
We're a German company. We like white asparagus, so I'm going to go with white asparagus.
All right.
And I think it's, in North America here, we only can get the medium one, so I'm going to select medium.
All right. And now it's actually telling you how would you like this? Is it softer, more al dente, or do you like it just set right in the middle?
I actually like the setting in the middle, so
All right. So
I'm good with that.
we'll press OK.
All right. That's pretty easy.
Now, because you're adding more food, so now we're just going to press the add food.
Now, if I
button
were
again.
only to do asparagus, Marilyn, I could actually just do the asparagus.
Yes, so that's why it's now telling you to either start the menu cooking or start cooking.
Okay.
Or now in your case, we're just going to be adding food.
Okay. I'm going to add food.
So the next item was, do you want to do the fish?
Yeah, sure. I see the fish.
And then you've got a wide selection
Okay, so
of choices, so
I'm going to do. I see the haddock that we
Yeah.
wanted, so I'm going to select the haddock,
yes,
and it's going to be tenderloin.
okay,
And I think we like a thicker cut, so I'm going to go about 3 centimeters.
all right. So now this is actually saying to you to place the fish in a grease perforated container. So just for show everybody, this is our perforated container. This is large, so I think this would fit your family. Kelly?
Absolutely. Yep.
All right, so that's the perforated container. Then,
So I'm going to hit OK.
yes,
So now it wants me to add my third item, which we selected rice, basmati rice specifically. So I see rice
Yes.
as a setting. I do see basmati rice. So it says place rice and water in a solid container in a ratio of 1 part rice, 1.5 parts water, because I know basmati rice requires a bit more water.
exactly. So that's our solid container. So this is good.
So I'm going to hit OK. Because I'm allowed to put 3 items, it's obviously asking me to start.
To start. So this will be interesting now to see which is the first or how it's going to select it. Oh,
So
okay.
it says to add the basmati rice, because Marilyn, why the basmati rice first?
Well, basmati rice because it takes longer to cook. So with it being the longest, it wants to start the cooking process with this.
And the oven knows that.
And the oven knows that because it's actually
great.
added all of your choices in there, your selection.
Okay.
So you would put it in here, and you don't have to worry as to what level you put this in.
Okay.
Okay, because it's steam.
Because I do notice that there's numbers on
Yes,
the side, but
exactly.
okay, any level.
Yes, any level of this.
Okay, so you put that in, and it
Close
tells
the
me to
door.
close the door.
And then it's going to start.
Menu cooking, okay.
All right. So just, we won't go through the whole program on this just to show you, but what ends up happening here is that since basmati rice takes the longest, and then maybe presumably that the asparagus might be the second item in, when that selection comes up, you would add the tray into the oven,
And the oven would tell me that.
and the oven will tell you, it'll prompt you to do that. Once that's selected, and then it does a countdown again, so let's just say, we'll just select 8 minutes that's left for the haddock, then it will prompt you again, and you'll put the haddock in there, close it, then it's gonna beep when it's completed its full cooking cycle in there.
Okay,
So by that time, while this is cooking, you might be wanting to do a sauce on the side, whatever you prefer.
okay.
When that's done, everything comes out, you plate it, you're good to go. Healthy meal in maybe probably I'll say under 40 minutes.
Wow, that's amazing. Very
Faster than
convenient.
takeout, I think.
So I know one question, Marilyn, we always get from customers
Right.
is like if I'm using the steam function on its own,
Mm-hmm.
a popular item that people do is eggs.
Right.
Soft, hard-boiled eggs. And I think the question is, does it change if I do 1 egg, 5 eggs, 12 eggs?
No. It doesn't. You can put any amount of eggs that's in there. So for example, if I wanted to use the whole carton of eggs, I can place that in there. What I'm going to do right now is just to quickly show you. So if I just go back and I go into MasterChef, then I go under eggs. So it's asking me soft, medium, or large, or extra large. So these are large eggs. So we would press the large eggs. And
Soft,
medium, or hard. How would you like it?
Medium.
Okay.
That's good.
And then steam cooking.
That tells me that. That's great.
Yeah. And we want it to start now.
So I also see it gives you an option to be ready at a
certain
specific time.
Right.
That's great. But I'll start it now.
Okay. And that's going to take 7 minutes.
Okay.
7 minutes, you'll have the perfect medium boiled egg, and all of them will be the same.
Oh, that's
Okay?
great.
So that's a really nice feature that we have on there, especially if you're making egg salad or making a niçoise salad, you might want to have that.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Marilyn, I also know that one of the most popular, that has become very popular cooking method is sous vide,
Yes, very popular.
under pressure.
Under pressure.
You know, so commercial restaurants have been using this technique for a long, long time. Traditionally, what they would do is they would seal the food in a food-safe bag.
Right.
They would put it in a water bath with an immersion circulator that basically keeps the water moving
That's
at a
right.
very, very low temperature.
Yes.
Great for restaurants because it allows them to prep a lot of things, have it ready, and finish it off when customers order,
Exactly.
and allows a lot of control. What can we do at Miele using some of the technology we already have to maybe, can we do sous vide cooking?
You can actually definitely do that. So you would go under operating mode, and once again, we just scroll through, and there's sous vide. So you press sous vide, you press the temperature, the duration of how long it will take. But how do we get to that stage of actually having the bag that's ready? So Miele, we do have a vacuum sealing drawer. And how this works, you would turn this on and you would lift the lid right here. There are 3 pressure points on here. So if you're just doing meat on its own, you would put it into a bag. We have 2 sizes for the Miele bag, so a large and a small. And it will actually pull out the all of the air from the bag itself. And then the next one would be if you're putting an item in the food item in there that has some sauce in there. Because
Some
again,
liquid.
that's right, with the liquid that's in there, you don't want it to suction it too much, otherwise it'll all come out. And then the third is a very delicate pressure. So for example, raspberries or strawberries. Sometimes they turn very fast in the fridge, but what ends up happening now, because you're taking that air out of it, it's
Right.
going to last even longer.
Plus, it's very
Delicate.
is what you said, so
Yes.
to keep it as a whole. So really, I can use this not only as in preparation for sous vide, but I can use it for a quick marinating under pressure,
Yes,
or I can actually use it as food storage.
exactly.
And I think we have some
Yeah.
bags up here. So
Okay. So we sell the large bags, and it's a package of 50 in the large, and also in the small. They both contain 50 bags in here.
that's great.
And that would be offered whether we go on Miele Shop or any of our locations.
So really then, in this case, Miele's using sous vide or mimicking the process of sous vide using the steam function,
Yes.
because steam obviously constantly has motion, which is required in sous vide functions,
Right.
or sous vide cooking. But I also know from a temperature control standpoint, that's critical.
It is critical because it has to be consistent, but to 1 degree of area, so that bacteria doesn't settle in there or
Right.
create that. But did you know also, which is something I found was very interesting, is that if it takes approximately 2 hours to cook meat, that if all of a sudden I have to step out and I'm running out, but all of a sudden I'm missing that 2-hour timeline, and I'm home in 2.5 hours or 3, that it will not damage the food that you're cooking, because it's keeping that consistency.
Right. And I
That's
think
in
that's
there.
the beauty of sous vide that
Exactly.
restaurants have used. And I think, with people wanting to cook at home more, and I'm sure many of you want to, I think it gives you that great flexibility to host large dinner parties and
Right.
not worry about last minute trying to cook for
Yes,
10 people. That
exactly.
everything can be ready. That's great.
Yeah, which is great.
Okay. So now we've talked about steam and obviously sous vide related to steam.
Yes.
You mentioned earlier that both of these specific models here that we show are combination steam convection.
Right.
But maybe you can talk a bit about the different design lines, so
Yes.
the exterior design of what consumers have a choice of.
They come in, this handle is called a contour line. So as you can see, it does swivel slightly so that when you're opening the oven, ergonomically, it's set up so that your wrist is turning with it as well. And the other model that we have is our pure line model. So it's a little bit more sleeker handles than the contour line.
And with these ones here, obviously it requires water because it's
Yes.
steam-based. What are my options for water if I don't have a water line? How does this all work?
So we have the two models that it comes in is the unplumbed version. So where you would just take the container out, fill it up with water, and then slide it back in. Or the plumb version, which basically it's attached to a pipe and the water is actually fed in. So if you're cooking food for a long period of time, for example, the sous vide that we were talking about,
Right.
You don't have to worry about refilling the container. It's just going to fill it up for you automatically.
Okay.
All right, and on the other side here where you see this is called our condensate container. So what does that actually do? Well, if we're doing cooking with a combination of a Combi steam, when we are cooking an item, let's just say, I'll say salmon, and we're going to do something with a panko crust salmon on there, you want to inject the steam in there, but then you want to brown the top of the crust, so the panko, so it wants to pull that moisture out of the oven itself, and so when the broil feature comes on, it will do the browning for you.
Good.
So as you can see, the panel goes up, easy access, just to bring it down. That's it.
Marilyn, before we move on, I just looking at some of the questions coming in from our viewers, and a quick one in regards to the sous vide one.
Yes.
So Nancy from Etobicoke is asking the question, can you use other manufacturers' bags for the sous vide function?
We don't really recommend it. If any product that we make at Miele is basically, we would use our bags that we have developed that works and we know it's not going to leak and it qualifies under any certification on this.
But can they use?
You can actually use it, yes.
I think they just has to
Yeah.
make sure it's food safe.
It's food safe on there for sure.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. In the Combi steam sous vides, we have another question from Bayam Motahed. Sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly. In the Combi steam sous vide, most recipes are based on water baths. Is there a time difference for the oven?
For the oven. Okay.
Meaning, is there, because it's based on a water bath, but I think the question is, because we're using a steam function,
Right.
is
Does
there
that
any?
affect it?
Yeah.
No, it's actually going to bring it, because it's a low temperature cooking that we're actually using inside of the actual unit itself. So it's not going to spike to go high or low. It'll just hold it for what the temperature should be for sous vide cooking.
Okay, good. So maybe we should move on a little bit. We'll come back to some of the questions. I know, again, this session is one of the most popular ones, and I know we have a lot of questions. So again, we will try to answer as many as we can. And otherwise, we will, our product experts for sure will answer you through the comment section, or again, we will contact you via email with some of the answers you're looking for. But let's maybe talk a bit about the convection, the Combi steam convection function in the oven.
So one nice feature that you can do if you like a beef tenderloin, let's just say, you would want to set the beef tenderloin that's in there, and then you want steam to inject, but you also want it to brown. So what it's doing is that as it's cooking, it's actually injecting a certain amount of steam that's in the meat so it doesn't dry it out, but also creating the color for the outside so the convection fan is coming on.
So how do I know? I would never have known to inject steam into convection bake technically
Right.
function or roasting. How do I know how much to put in and when to put it in?
Well, a rule of thumb really is first you have to play around with it just to see how you like it. But when you're cooking meat or any poultry, anything like that, you would set it at about 60%, 55 to 60% of moisture. If you're doing fish, you might want to have it higher. So that ranges, it could be at 80 to 100. And then if you're baking, good starting point would be at about 40% moisture. And then obviously when you've tried it, if you find that, oh, you know what, I could have had it a little bit more moist, then you would increase it the next time. If that's the perfect setting, then you know that just kind of takes us now into our favorites, where you can actually program that. So the next time you come in, if we're making, let's just say, a steamed chocolate chip banana cake, I would put that into my favorites. I don't have to go through the whole program. I just basically select the favorites, go in there, touch it, and it's all done.
Now, sometimes if people are beginner chefs,
Yes.
are there programs already in there that I can utilize where I don't need to calculate amount
Yes.
of moisture and steam and when and all these type of things?
Absolutely. So if we go into our MasterChef program right now, so I mentioned to you the beef tenderloin.
Mhm.
So I would just press the meat, beef, gourmet beef tenderloin, roast. Insert the grease filter. So at the back of this unit, you will see that there is the grease filter. That's for any splattering of oil, so you don't want it entering into the fan unit. So press OK. How do you want it done? Whether it's rare, medium rare, well done. You select, it's your choice to select what you'd like. And we're pressing OK. Place the universal tray on the shelf, which that one I haven't shown you, so this would be right here. And it's telling us right now is to place the universal tray on shelf level 1. So this is shelf level 1. So then you just press OK. Place the rack on shelf level 2. So this rack right here, so once this is in, I will place my rack on here. Obviously this is not in here. And then I'm going to start now, or whenever you would like the meat to be ready. So let's just say start now. Close the door. 2 hours and 40 minutes. This is take the whole guessing out of how much steam do I have to put in, am I putting the right amount. When it's finished cooking, it comes out perfect every time.
Wow, that's pretty easy.
It is very, very easy on here. Let's try a different one. So turkey.
Sure.
All right, so again, do you want to do this one, Kelly?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
it's the MasterChef once again.
Well, but that looks really small, Marilyn, for
Then you would
for,
actually-
for turkey. Like, can I do turkey in there?
Yes, you can actually do up to a 15-pound turkey that's in there.
Maybe we,
And then in the DGC XXL, as you can see, we have a large turkey in here. So this is about 18 pounds.
so that's actually a 24-inch oven. I obviously know we have our 30-inch ovens.
Right,
That's amazing that in a 30-inch oven,
yes.
or
That you
a
put this in.
24-inch oven, I can actually do an 18-pound turkey.
Exactly.
Okay.
So let's just say we have it in the large oven. So you would just press your MasterChef again, press the poultry or chicken, and then press the gourmet roast chicken. Oh, turkey, sorry. Chicken, turkey. You would press that, and then it would just do the full cooking.
Okay.
And it'll tell you how long it's going to take.
Wow. I know, we, in normal circumstances, have a lot of cooking classes in all our meal experience centers, which I hope that many of you have had a chance to join us for. It's something that we will look to add in the coming weeks, is actually some live cooking demonstrations on specific recipes. And I guess before we head over to some of the questions, Marilyn, what's one of your favorite recipes we've done in our Miele MasterChef classes that we've offered to consumers using the DG or even just the steam oven itself?
There's so many, but I'll start with desserts, and that would be the chocolate pot de creme. And I'm using just strictly the steam function on here.
Okay.
So I would prepare it on the cooktop first, and then I'm going to pour it into either some small ramekins, cover it with foil, place it in the oven, and basically after about 8 to 11 minutes, depending on the size of the ramekins, it comes out perfect. When you take it out, it'll jiggle a little bit, but then you just leave it in the fridge if you like to set.
But I know the beauty of that recipe is typically if you had to do that in a traditional oven,
Right.
you need a bain-marie
Bain-marie.
to do it. In
Right.
this particular case,
But
because
this
we're
one you
doing the
won't.
steam, that's fantastic.
Again, because the ports that are in there and the steam that's being injected in there keeps it at that temperature, the 212, sorry.
So I know you like savory as well.
I do.
So what's one of your favorite savory recipes that we do that kind of customers sometimes go, wow, I never knew you could actually do this.
Yeah. One of them, because we've already talked about the beef tenderloin, but there is a lemon herb chicken that I do like. And to be honest with you, I just prepare the chicken, put it on the setting in here under the steam combi. So what I'm actually doing, just quickly show you here, is I'm using the combination mode. I set the temperature, and then I'm going to set the right amount of moisture that goes in. And at the end, because I want it to brown, I'm going to bring in the broil element. And anybody that's tried this has often said, wow, the chicken was so moist. It cooked in basically 12, 15 minutes, and they can't believe the chicken is actually done, and because that's the way that Miele works. Yeah.
Nice. Now, I know one of my favorite recipes that we do, and it's using the steam, because I think steam ovens, a lot of people think about, I'm going to steam my vegetables, or I'm going to steam my fish,
Right.
which are common things that our customers talk to us about, and they want to know what else we can do. I know my family loves risotto.
Yes.
On a
Yes.
busy
Yes,
weekday,
yeah.
to be honest, we don't always have time to stand there and sit over a stove and slowly stir a hot stock into the risotto. That's one of my favorites.
Yes.
Maybe you can talk us through a little bit how difficult that one actually is to do in our steam oven.
Well, the difficulty on this really is taking the solid pan right here, and you're actually adding all the ingredients in at one time. Once you've placed this in there, you're going to go to your grains, and you're going to go to your rice, and we're going to say short grain rice, risotto, and it says place rice and water in a solid container on the ratio again, 1 to 2.5 parts water. You'll turn it on. It says steam cooking. Start now. In 18 minutes, I'm going to have the risotto will all be ready. Soon as it comes out, I'm just going to add the butter and the cheese, and I'm good to go.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite
Yes.
recipes that the steam oven can do. Again, as people are busy, I think everybody's looking for a really nice meal,
Yes.
but something that is doable within
Yeah.
reasonable time.
It's nice comfort food.
So I think we need to head over to the questions because time is running out quickly. So we'll try to, again, answer as many of these as possible. So Marilyn, we have a question from Shirley.
Yes.
And she's asking, when cooking with steam in the Combi oven,
Yes.
when do you put the food to be cooked into the oven?
Well, depending on what you're making and what the program is, but you would put it in immediately. So once you've selected, open the oven, just close the door, and that's it. It'll start cooking. It gets to the heating point, the preheat, and then
Okay.
it'll cook.
Okay. So we have a question about dumplings. Love
Yes.
dumplings. I think everybody loves dumplings. But we have a question from Zenny Cool. And the question is, what settings do you use to make Asian dumplings, xiaolongbao, which is the soup dumplings, temperature and time?
Well, when I've made dumplings, I basically go into the just straight steam. I'll
Okay.
select steam, whatever the package direction as well might be, or if you're making it from fresh. If it takes 8 minutes to cook, once it reaches boiling point, you can actually put it in. You can actually put it in right from the beginning, sorry.
Right.
And then put that in after your 8 minutes of cooking. It comes out perfect every time.
Yeah. So I think for that one too, when Marilyn talked about creating your favorites, I think dumplings is one where it's a great thing to actually to be able to create your favorites because you
Yes.
may need to play with it a little bit. But I think in general we've done about 8 minutes depending on the
Yes,
dumpling type.
depending on it.
Now specifically on that one, Marilyn, I know that our ovens also you can change the language
Yes.
within the oven settings, but it does more than give you just language.
Yes, it gives you the whole menu, like a whole recipe from that country, what you're selecting. So we have over 200 programmed recipes that are in the system, depending on what language that you're actually selecting.
So I know in that particular case with the xiaolongbao, If you change that over to Chinese, we actually benefit from the recipe development that was done by our Chinese colleagues at Miele China and Miele Hong Kong as well. So
Right.
you get that benefit.
Exactly. And you'll just go into the settings and select language.
Good. Next question is from Stephanie C. Stephanie C asks, when you set the hardness level on your steam oven, I would imagine for water, do you take into account the fact that you're using water that has been softened by a water softener?
Yes, definitely we do. Because the harder the water is, the more that you would have to do a descaling. So if the water is softer, it'll be less descaling that you would have to do.
Good. So I think we've pretty much run out of time. I know there are a lot of other questions, and we will definitely try to get to them. And again, I think based on your feedback, we will look to add new sessions in the coming weeks. This is actually our first day doing this. And we hope you find it really useful. The next topic in regards to cooking is I think we will add some live cooking demonstrations. So if there are specific recipes, challenges you're having, send those in to us through the comment section. We will review those. And hopefully we'll be able to add a new session in the coming weeks on showing you live in front of our active kitchen here how to tackle some of those challenges. So I want to thank you on behalf of Marilyn and the rest of the team here for your time tonight. I know it's gone quick. Hopefully we've answered some of the questions. Again, there were a lot of questions in regards to this one topic of steam cooking. I'm sure we will see Marilyn back in the next days covering some other topics that we have. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Share us with your friends. Hopefully you've enjoyed the session with us. Again, take advantage of the right now we have a new service. If you go on miele.ca and you have very specific questions, we're offering personalized product consultations via telephone. If you go on miele.ca, you can request an appointment for that, and we will have a product expert work with you on the phone. Again, given our current situation, unfortunately, we're not able to have you into one of our Miele Experience Centers right now, but hopefully we're giving you options. If you're interested in purchasing with us, visit our shop at miele.ca. We have an online shop. We have free shipping right now on anything that you buy, regardless of your basket size with us, whether it's our care collection products, whether it's the vacuum sealing bags that you saw. But I think specifically today, Marilyn, we have a specific promotion available for our customers that are actually watching.
Yes, so we have our cleaning products, the DGC Clean, the descaling agent, the ceramic cleaner. So if you actually go under Miele Live Steam,
and that's actually the promo code you would use on our online shop. That'll be active for the next hour, just for you that actually attended the session today. You can take advantage of that, and there's an additional 10% off any existing promotions that are on there. Just make sure that you use that promo code. It'll be active live for the next hour. So again, on behalf of the Miele team, we want to wish you and your family safety and health. And hopefully you'll continue to tune in. Make sure you register with us at mielelive.ca for the next sessions, which we'll be hosting this week on Wednesday and Friday. And we'll add new sessions and new topics going forward in the coming weeks. So thank you very much. And on behalf of the Miele family, again, have a wonderful evening.